Wadi Makum, benevolent greetings, salutations. This is Dr. Shabazz Obey. Today I want to discuss the importance of being natural or NaturEl um, as opposed to artificial or artifiscal, as in generating revenue for this beast, leading people the wrong way. Now, I don't, anything that I show on any video is a spiritual meaning behind it. It is not to show off or bring attention to myself. I don't wear makeup or do anything like that in my videos because I want the attention and the focus to stay on the divine wisdom and information I'm sharing. I come on just as I am, and I don't over stress myself about trying to look perfect or anything like that because there's no such thing. The version of perfect that people think is perfect as an artificial created being that's against nature outside of creation, that's blasphemous. Okay, the creator didn't create you with makeup or any of that artificial stuff. And it's not about, yeah, you could do what you want to do, but a lot of that stuff, you even look at how a lot of that stuff that you wearing is formulated, or about how a lot of those so-called beauty products that's marketed are prepared from or manufactured using aborted fetal cells. Do you think about that type of stuff when you call yourself trying to be spiritual and you getting on a video or platform leading people the wrong way? You subconsciously are telling young women or that they need makeup and other things like that to be beautiful, and that's a falsehood. And you just generated money. You call yourself being spiritual, but you doing that and you generating income and revenue for the very people that you claim to be speaking out against, but you so conscious and enlightened, right? And that's not to say that there aren't so-called natural versions of these things. That's true. But you wearing them, you're supposed to be doing that in privacy. Anything that had to do with drawing attention to yourself is something that you do privately or for your consort. That's not, you shouldn't be trying to draw the attention to yourself. If you're a spiritual person, you're supposed to be drawing it to other people. Everything that I put out is not about me or going on and on about myself and how great I am or trying to draw the attention to myself or my looks. And I'm not trying to say like I've never worn makeup before. I never dressed up a certain way, but that's for privacy of my consort. That's not something that I'm gonna be calling myself a spiritual leader, a spiritual teacher, and coming and putting on all type of distractions to distract my people from the divine wisdom and information I'm bringing. That's a form of pimping the knowledge, and you get judged even more harshly than a regular person for doing that if you call yourself a teacher and you leading people the wrong way, whether it's consciously or subconsciously or intentionally or unintentionally. So you have to be careful. Do you want to be a natural or nature being or NaturEl, natural more, a true more, or do you want to be a artificial or artificial creation outside of nature, outside of mother? When Big Mama or great grand creator, the supreme navigator of the universe put you on a planet, she put you here as you are. You didn't come out with makeup, you didn't come out with wigs or weave, you didn't come out with lashes, you didn't come out with none of that stuff. You came out natural as you are. And that's how you're gonna leave. And sometimes they put makeup and stuff like that up. But do you really want to be remembered by artificial constructs? You want somebody to remember, oh, well, she always had the cutest makeup or the cutest clothes. You want to be remembered by some artificial material stuff that you can't take with you, artificial construct, because people can remember you like that, and you be sitting up, getting your soul regurgitated to come back here and stuff like that. That don't have any bearing on if you truly made a difference in the lives of your brother and your sister in here. What material stuff you had when you passed away. You can't take that stuff with you. So when you ascend from this realm or transition, you want to be sure that you remember for the right things, that you left a legacy of knowledge and wisdom for the youth or because in a few thousand years, then portals might open back up, and they might find remnants of your information or your knowledge on their computers or whatever else they use during those times. And do you really want to be a unforgotten nobody? Like, that's not helping. That's not going to help anybody in the future. Um, you wearing a ton of makeup and stuff, that's just leading people to have immoral or lustful thoughts towards you while you're supposed to be delivering a divine message, and you get judged for that. You don't want anything that's going to distract the people from the true message. Like anything that I wear, even though it may come across to the untrained eye as maybe they think I'm showing off because I wear this symbolize my feminine energy rising to the top of my head. It's protection. I'm a nigga that I like. This is my first time incarnating in human form. Y'all don't even know the spirit that's behind this physical body of matter. So what I'm trying to say or reiterate is, do you want to be a natural, a nature being, an immortal being, a L, or do you want to be artificial or artifiscal, or do you want to generate revenue for your oppressors by playing on the subconscious of your brother and sister and then telling them that their natural self is not enough for them to be beautiful? You beautiful as you are, but you programmed by the TV and the media to think that you need all this extra artificial stuff to make you beautiful, and you don't. The creator made you in her image, beautiful and perfect, natural, and then somebody come and corrupt you and tell you that you need all these different gadgets, artificial makeup and different things like that to make you beautiful, and in turn making you a being outside of creation. All that stuff is outside creation. Yes, you are a so-called divine being, and yes, you have free will, but you got to realize, are you making decisions that are placing you outside of creation, outside of the creator, outside of the authority or hierarchy, celestial hierarchy? Because once you put yourself out of celestial hierarchy, that means you fending for yourself. You don't have no divine beings over you that can step in and intervene in this realm to help you. You just that cold. You don't need nobody, right? I beg to differ. So if you serious, the more big you try to make yourself, the smaller you're gonna be in the eyes of the creator. And the smaller and more humble you make yourself in the eyes of the creator, the more the creator gonna value and cherish you and send angelic forces to protect you. Some may call them so-called aliens or angels or whatever. There's a hierarchy out here. There's species that are higher than you on in the hierarchy right now. You humans or so-called humans or men and women, y'all right now are at a low point. So it's celestial beings that's over y'all. When you rise up to your higher self, then can't nobody mess with you. You cold. One of the coldest creations of the not cold, but one of the warmest, beautifulest creations that the creator ever made. You don't want to be cold, you want to be hot. You don't want to be cold, you want to be hot. You don't want to be lukewarm, you want to be hot. You want to be burning with the divine fire of the creator. I'm sometimes get so excited. I can't explain it. I just have it's so much energy that I have built up. Like I make lights flicker. I do things like that because of the ancestors and ancestral spirits that come around me or come from inside of me. You have to realize that this is not all this stuff, even me, is something that's inside of you. All that's natural is from inside of you. Anything that's unnatural or extremely wicked, that's outside alien force, that's not coming from you. So you have to figure out what's real and what's illusion. You have to determine what's real and what's illusion, what's natural and what's artificial or artificial. Because that right now, you might not, you think you're free, but you're not, because you might not be physically being colonized, but they're trying to colonize your mind, your mental, your spirit. So in every way possible, you should want to be natural. And if you're calling yourself a teacher, you need the focus to be on your students. By teaching, one learns. So if you ever get to the point where you think you're so big that you can't learn anything from your so-called students or people or other people, everybody should be. You can learn from a little baby. You can learn from a little baby ant. You can learn from a cricket. You can learn from a spider just watching nature. Beings that's supposed to be so-called smaller than you, you can learn from all of them. So to think that you can't ever learn from other people or other people always wrong, or this person always wrong, to be so arrogant to think that you can't ever learn any information. And they don't have to always present themselves how you think they're supposed to. The ancestors can choose to work through anybody at any point in time to give you a certain divine message that you need. So that's why I reiterate, it's best to be natural. If you unconsciously doing those things like that are distracting you, or wearing those things that are derived from wickedness, you can change, because some people really are good-hearted people, but they just been programmed wrong. They got a bad program within the computer, or they divine computer, their brain, or they higher self. They higher self can't reach down or can't lift them up, because they have all these bad programs. So you have to start deprogramming yourself from all the nonsense they tell you, or their perceptions of what beauty and what righteousness is, because most of the stuff you think is beautiful is ugly in the eyes of the creator. Most of the stuff you think is so-called righteous is devilish. So you have to free your mind and deprogram yourself from all these programs that they try to program you with or socially engineer you with, and figure out the truth, the essence of things. And that's your mission on this planet, to collect divine information and right information for your tenth L, or your temporary dwelling place of L, or your spaceship, or your Merkabah, so you can rise up out of this dimension and stop being bound by this physical body of matter, or this hell. So that's just something to think about. Do you want to be natural, or a nature of A or L, or to divine being on the planet, or do you want to be artificial and or fake and complaining about your oppressors, but subconsciously generate money for them by instilling wrong beliefs subconsciously in your brother and sister, and telling, if you wearing makeup and you call yourself a living divine message, that's a thing, because you're telling the other ones that if they need that stuff to be presentable enough to present a message that's coming from creator, they need to put on all this artificial stuff to deliver a divine message. And that's wrong. That's wrong. To tell people that they need anything outside of themselves to reach the creator is wrong. Like you said, like these people that sell all of these different things, you need this to increase your vibrations or to protect you, or you not. You was born with a mouth to say Khalil and to speak words of power to accomplish anything that you need to accomplish. So yes, it's different tools and things that may help you raise your vibration, but to tell people that they need that stuff is devilish and blasphemous. So you need to really think about what you're doing out here and the stuff you're recommending to people. And you need to think about, you need to strip yourself of all these unnatural and artificial things and get back to nature, because that's where your ancestors is. Your ancestors and the creator dwell in the natural things in nature, not these artificial man-made constructs. So that's just something, some food for thought. But you have to think about these type of things. If you want to be a true divine being, you have to think about these type of things and make the right decision. And that's where it comes to build or destroy. Yes, you have the ability to create things, but people don't ever tell you that with free will comes responsibility. You have to choose, are you building towards a better future, or if you destroying. So it's build or destroy. And it's up to you to figure out your true mission and what you really want to do and the message you want to be sending people before you just put yourself out here unconsciously thinking you know something you don't. It took me years of preparation, and I was just like, I was impatient and I wanted to share information, and an elder told me, no, you need to wait, and in a few years I think that you will gain enough wisdom or experience to actually bring some valid information to people. And at the time I didn't understand it. I'm like, why? I love this teacher, why they telling me to wait, and I want to do this now. And then after so many years went past, I went through so many different things and start remembering the lessons that my ancestors and teachers and my ancestors are coming and saying, like, see, this is why you need to wait. I had to go through a certain amount of things before I could even, ancestors will allow me to even come in the way that I'm coming and sharing the information like I'm sharing it, because I had to gain that wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge of power. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but that don't mean that you're supposed to be teaching nobody. You have to get wisdom. Wisdom make you a teacher, not knowledge. You can know all the stuff in the world. I have a photographic memory. I had a lot of knowledge, and a lot of the stuff that that's coming full circle for me is knowledge that I already knew, but I had to actually put it to work. Wisdom is applied knowledge. So you have to apply the information that you learn. And you can't just sit up and just be hoarding information like a lot of these so-called society doing all that stuff. You sit up and hoard information and don't share it with nobody. You sit up and you don't even share it with yourself. They don't even practice a lot of the information they be trying to keep from people. But they won't even practice it, but they try to keep somebody else from getting the information that's gonna use. So wisdom is applied knowledge. And a part of wisdom you're gonna learn, if you was doing what you're supposed to do, you will be refining yourself. And a part of refinement or a cleansing process of yourself is deprogramming and detoxing from all these toxins and these artificial things that they try to bombard you with in this dimension. So that's a part of that. So make sure that you keep it natural. NaturEl, as in, like I said, like as in a nature being, and not artificial, as in helping and assisting the colonizers to oppress your brethren and sisters. Peace and love.